Yo, what's up YouTube and welcome to the channel. My name is David. Today I'm here with Brian Jung. He does a lot of credit card and financial stuff. So today we're going to talk about monetization on YouTube and how you can take your YouTube into making a profit. So Brian, why don't you tell us about yourself?
Thanks for that introduction, bro. So my name is Brian, aka Professor Jung. Just kidding, no one calls me that. I normally talk about credit cards and personal finance on YouTube. I actually know David through a couple mutual friends and we live pretty close to each other, and we actually both went to the same college that we both dropped out of. So, like he said, I do talk about credit cards on YouTube, and I think to a random person, especially when I tell someone like, hey, what do I do? And I say I do that, I get a lot of weird looks often because, you know, what can you really talk about credit cards and how does that all work? I pretty much teach people how to travel the world for free using credit cards. Credit cards have amazing benefits that you guys can get free money out of. On top of that, I started a couple businesses before I started my latest YouTube channel, which is just my name, Brian Jung. And I started a couple businesses. One of them was e-commerce. I was into drop shipping, Amazon FBA. And now on top of the personal YouTube channel with the credit card stuff, I actually do digital marketing, and some of those projects too, me and David have worked on together. So I guess like all in all, I'm pretty much like an umbrella term for like a digital entrepreneur. I try to create content, I try to help other businesses, and I've started other personal brands and other private brands as well too.
So for credibility reasons, can I ask you how much you make on YouTube?
Yeah, so why don't we like pull this up on my phone. So at the moment I have about 20,000 subscribers on YouTube, and so far with the revenue this month it's been about close to $4,000. Now with 20,000 subscribers, it might not seem like a lot of subscribers, especially when we look at PewDiePie and like, you know, other YouTubers out there who have hundreds of thousands to even millions. You really don't need a lot of subscribers to be able to make money off of YouTube. And this kind of goes to a point called CPM, or cost per thousand. This is the metric that people gauge to figure out how much you actually get paid. So you guys might be wondering, how can I get paid like $4,000 off of YouTube if I only have 20K subs and I only get less than like 10,000 views per video? And the reason why that happens is because I talk to an audience that is pretty valuable. So what that means is people who watch my content, people who are into credit cards, are usually higher financially secure people. Advertisers will pay a lot of money to put ads on my type of videos. So there aren't a lot of people that talk about credit cards, and there's a lot of credit card companies out there looking to advertise. So when there's a lot of competition and the demand is high and the supply is low, just like any business model, the price is going to go up. So they're all bidding on each other to place ads on my videos. So generally I'll get about a $10 to $15 per thousand views. And if I do like playback CPM, so like my older videos, sometimes I'll get a $30 to $35 per thousand views. So it depends on what niche you're on. If you're like a prank channel or like someone who doesn't make like really informative or valuable content, or your audience is a bunch of kids, you're really gonna see a very low CPM, maybe like 50 cents, $1, $2. It's really not that high.
Since we're getting into demographics, can you kind of break down like what demographic makes the most and what demographic makes the least?
Yeah, so I don't really think about it in that type of way. I think about more of like the content and the niche market you're in, because a person, like one demographic or a certain person can have multiple interests. So the way I see it is the competition in a market, and then I also see it in terms of the type of content you're gonna make towards that. So, you know, in simple terms, I think personal finance in general is gonna be one of the highest, and that's an umbrella term for more different types of content, you know, different types of online businesses, side hustles, real estate. There's just so many different forms of just personal finance in general. I think like the micro niches, like dropshipping YouTube channels, like Amazon FBA, like value channels where people are just talking for 10, 20, 30 minutes, really long videos, and advertisers can sell like very expensive high tier items. Those seem to be like the highest CPMs and for those type of demographics. So like personal finance in my opinion.
For a rising YouTuber, what advice would you give them for making better monetization strategies and whatnot?
Okay, that's a really good question. So there's a lot of ways you can actually make money, and think about it like this, you guys. Subscribers add to your social proof, which is just like the backing. So, you know, if someone is making a video and they have 1 subscriber versus 1 million subscribers, having just 1 million subscribers under their name adds a lot more social proof. It adds more credibility. What that kind of leads into is that if you have a lot of subscribers and they're inactive and they don't do much, all you really get is social proof. I've seen people that have really small channels, but because their audience is they're just really into them, they'll buy anything that they say and they're obsessed with that person, but they don't have a lot, but they have a very highly interested group of people, even though it's small. You can really monetize that group more than people who have millions and millions of subs that don't really care about them. There's many different streams of income. There's so many different ways. Affiliate marketing is one of them. That's if you have like a link in your description for like an Amazon listing, or you do a review of the new iPhone. You say, okay, if you're trying to buy the new iPhone, use the link down below in the description and you get paid off of that. That's an easy way to monetize yourself. AdSense, just the way I was talking about with how much YouTube paid me, that's another way, but there's so many ways. But I think the easiest way for anyone to get started with, it's going to be just figuring out what you like to do, first of all. If you're really trying to like monetize to the max, what other people are doing nowadays is selling courses. That's really just a huge way. If you're able to provide value to people and it's going to help them out in their life, and without a doubt they're going to get a positive return on what they pay you, then that's a win-win situation. Before I even think about like different ways to monetize, I think about the 3 wins. So we talk about like Coca-Cola, for example. Coca-Cola, they're a company that makes a lot of money. So in terms of money that they can make, they're winning. But in terms of like our health and then the environment, it's an L and an L, but they're making money. So with things like that, I don't really find sustainable. I mean, Coca-Cola is going to do good for a while, but I feel like up to a certain point when people realize it's not good for them, they're going to start to decrease. But if you're able to find a situation where it's like a win-win-win, where it's like David comes out with a course or an ebook and his audience is getting value. He's making money. He gets a win right there, but his audience gets a win too because they're getting value, and then the value that is put out there, doesn't hurt anyone else, and the platform that he uses gets paid too. Maybe they get like a 10% off of what you use. Then all 3 parties are winning. I try to look at it at that point, like how can I get a win-win-win situation with my audience? Affiliate marketing happens naturally with that. AdSense pretty much happens naturally. That's what I would start with. I really like affiliate marketing. I really like providing courses or value, and honestly just finding what your audience needs. What I like to do is actually do consulting calls for people who are into credit. Now people can watch like hundreds of thousands and hours of video on YouTube and do research, but there's people who can't really commit that time. There's people that need to have a personal customized plan, maybe for like a camera setup. So if I'm trying to get a brand new camera, I'd be like, hey David, I'll just pay you like $100 instead of me wasting like hours and hours of my time that I could do something else with. In that $100, can I do a call with you and you just tell me exactly what camera I need, what setup, like what I should do. That's one of those situations. That's an example of the way you guys can make money. If you're a content creator, if you have a small channel, kind of like me, kind of like David, I really would look into things like that, because you have an audience of people that are looking to you, and because they know you're a smaller YouTuber, they know that you have a more higher ability to have that one-on-one connection. You can converse with them on Instagram, in your YouTube comment section, and when you get to a point where you have millions of subs, it gets hard to do that. Yeah.
I know like SEO is super important for getting seen and actually making money, getting that revenue from your audience. So do you have any ideas of tools that people can use, like programs and stuff for SEO and anything else?
If you guys didn't know, Google actually owns YouTube and vice versa. So it's a search platform. So instead of Googling like best camera lens for 2019 on Google, if you put that on YouTube, they're pretty much intertwined. So you're going to see similar results. When it comes down to SEO, and for anyone who doesn't know what SEO is, SEO just stands for search engine optimization, and this is just keywords. It's just how to use words effectively and properly to basically further yourself to getting found or whatever objective or conversion you're looking for. So if we're talking about SEO and some tips that I would bring to any content creators, I would look into plugins like vidIQ. That's something I personally use. So I'm gonna look at videos in a certain niche or a certain keyword topic. So if say example, the Canon M50, like the best travel vlog camera for YouTubers, the most affordable camera vlog, I'm gonna look at the top 5 videos on YouTube, and then I'm gonna use my vidIQ plugin tool to figure out which keywords they're ranking for. So once you figure that out, I'll just write it down, and then I'll use those keywords for my own video as well and try to improve on that too. Because at the end of the day, if you're trying to get found on YouTube, yes, you can go viral if the algorithm is in your favor and they're like, all right, we kind of like your content, people are clicking through, and the audience retention is like excellent. You don't want to rely on that. I rely more on search volume, people actually searching for keywords, and then me being found there. So if you guys want to do something like that, I recommend looking into vidIQ, look into the plugins, look into the search word volumes. You want to find terms that are getting searched a lot, but there isn't that much content, and it shows you graphs and stuff for that. So that's what I recommend.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to add for starting up YouTubers looking to make money off YouTube?
Yeah. So, I think nowadays everyone wants to start their YouTube channel. If you guys just Google like what kids want to do nowadays, back in the day it used to be like astronaut and like doctors and architects and crazy stuff. But nowadays it's like kids just want to be YouTubers, and we're gonna see, a saturation in this market soon at some point, especially when these kids start growing up. But for anyone who's looking to start their YouTube channel now, the biggest advice is just do it. A lot of people are more afraid of failure and then not getting found and like rejection, or a big term is imposter syndrome too. And imposter syndrome, I know it sounds simple. It's like, oh, you feel like an imposter, maybe you don't belong there. But imposter syndrome is something that goes way more further in depth. And I had no idea until I started talking to other bigger YouTubers that have 1 million plus subscribers, and some of the biggest guys in the market. And I say, hey, like, do you ever struggle with imposter syndrome? Because I feel it some way. I feel like I'm not capable of doing this. I feel like I don't deserve this type of audience. And a lot of these guys are going to say the same thing. They're going to say they don't deserve it. They don't belong, to be on YouTube or to have that creativity and that freedom. If you're a young content creator, if you're someone who's trying to start their channel, don't think about the end result so much of like I need 1 million views or I need to go viral right now. I started multiple channels before this. They didn't do that well, and this was the one where I was like, okay, I'm starting to see some traction, and that really happened from consistency over time. I think if you're consistent, I think if you're able to push through and just make content regardless of the views you're gonna get, eventually you're gonna rank up. And the algorithm, it's such a weird thing, man. Like right now, I'd be seeing the stupidest videos from like 5 years ago coming up, but that's because the algorithm, it'll just push out random content, every now and then. So you guys want to be there when the algorithm, the almighty algorithm, decides whether or not your video is going to be that one viral video. So to even do that, you need to have content out there. Yeah, just make content, be yourself, practice. And for me too, it took me a really, really long time to get comfortable in front of the camera. And I'm still not fully comfortable with it, but over time, the more you practice, the easier it gets.
I'm going to close off my video.
All right, well, I got some questions for you, bro.
Oh, God.
All right, David. So you got your YouTube channel going. Your David has his calendar up there, and it's pretty full right now too. So you have a lot of things going, man. But what are some of your goals like that you're trying to accomplish? Like, would you consider yourself an entrepreneur?
I guess.
Yeah, you're an entrepreneur, bro. So like, as an entrepreneur, what are some things that you want to accomplish? Like, how do you want to give back to the community, and what type of name do you want to give for yourself?
The creative space here in DC is very cliquey, very disconnected, and very competitive. So I kind of want to take that and kind of unite it and make it a place where people can be comfortable in their own skin as being a creator, because a lot of people here on the East Coast kind of look at content creation as like a hobby or like a fake job, something that nobody's ever going to do unless they move to LA or something where they get a bunch of connections. But I want to be that person that lives here on the East Coast, can go over to the West Coast, meet all these people, network with people, come back to the East Coast, bring resources, bring opportunities here, and then like just grow the community here so that people don't end up like, oh, I want to move to LA because I feel more comfortable there. They could just stay here, like, I'm going to stay here because I like where I am.
Yeah.
It fits.
Dang. Okay, so what do you think, like, compared to LA and Cali, because you've been there a couple times for like shoots with all the beautiful ladies, if they're watching this video, follow me on Instagram. So you've been to LA a bunch. What do you think, like what do you think is the factor that holds us back, like, from being like what they have? Because they're innovating, bro. They got so much.
I think it's the general idea of just expanding and having the idea that West Coast is better and opportunities come from the West Coast.
Yeah.
And here on the East Coast, it's kind of more like safe jobs and
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
be steady, just go with the flow,
Yeah.
kind of stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But on the West Coast, it's kind of like push yourself further. Here's some opportunities if you want them, take them. Just all these resources. People fly into LA all the time. Famous people teach classes and all this stuff. But like DC, we don't get much of that at all. We get it like once a year or something. But
Yeah.
nothing real.
So what's prevented you from like moving to LA?
I just don't want to. I don't want to move to LA because it's saturated, and if I feel like if I move to LA now, I haven't fully developed my style yet. So
Yeah.
like I maintain this East Coast style. So if I get clients on the West Coast, it's more valuable to me because the clients are more like, we really want you. We're willing to fly you out for your style because it's so different from the West Coast.
Yeah.
So like it makes your clients more special, and it kind of gives you more purpose because you know that they really want yours and not just anyone else's.
Mm-hmm. Dang, man. So what do you think you have to do to be able to succeed in like the East Coast for now? Because LA for sure it's saturated, but dude, you're making a name for yourself around here. Like, what do you have to do to do that? What does it take?
For East Coast, it's kind of just to push yourself because it's really easy to get lazy here because in the East Coast, you don't get as many opportunities. It's really easy to like just relax.
Yeah.
Which is why I like staying here because I can relax when I want to. But if you don't like push yourself to do things, even if it's just like reading a book or, you know, writing something up so you can do it later, or making a YouTube video, then you kind of like let yourself go and you kind of fall off. But if you're constantly pushing yourself, like make a goal for yourself to do that week, or like have a calendar, just constantly push yourself to do stuff, then you're gonna start moving forward slowly.
Dang, bro. The facts. I gotta take these things off. Okay, some fire in this video. Do you regret dropping out, bro?
Nope.
Me neither. You guys are someone in college, you don't know what you're trying to do if you're not sure about the life situation. I just want to say, school doesn't dictate your position or your worth in life. I think as we're both college dropouts, you know, we both have these channels and we're both, I guess, technically like self-employed. There is a future of opportunities out here, and regardless of where you live, if you put in the time and you put in the work, you can do it. I think a lot of us just started with the same thing. Not many resources started from nothing, and you know, I'm telling you guys, like, you put in the work, you can make anything for yourself. And you see what we built now. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes years and years and nights and endless time of just researching and putting in the work. So that's my message to the people. Just put in the work. Like, you know, don't be so impatient. Just trust the process and you got this.
Don't drop out until you know what you want to do. Because don't just drop out just because. Not a good idea.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching that interview. If you guys want to learn more about what I teach on YouTube and you guys want to learn how to travel the world for free, you guys can actually check out my credit card videos. I have a lot of beginner-oriented videos, and anyone who already has credit cards and knows about points and miles, and you guys can check out some of my intermediate and advanced videos as well too. But I do have a couple things in the works as well too, and I'm looking to get some collabs set up with my boy David over here as well. So if you guys are interested in any of my content, or if you guys just want to learn more about how to make money and stuff, you guys can follow me on Instagram. It's just Credit Brian, or you guys can follow me on YouTube. It's Brian Jung, just my full name.
Good job. High five. Woo! I also broke this one.
Wait, just y'all know this man breaks everything.
If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. And if you guys have any questions for Brian or me and know what you guys want to learn next, make sure you guys drop a comment below, let us know. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have an amazing day, morning, night, or wherever you're watching from. I'll see you then.
Peace! Alright, that was pretty good, man.